JD Lakshminarayan garu. We are still not getting rid of that JD sir. Sorry about this. We're so used to joint director. Actually, VV Lakshminarayan garu, another guest. He was an ex joint director of CBI and very honest person and very motivational speaker. And he has extensively traveled around India, a lot of places, and motivated farmers and looking for alternative solutions for how to live naturally, and even the education fields, how to have an ethical sense and stress-free society also, motivate a lot of youth how to be a responsible person and a very calming person, and how to learn the education in a better way. So today he is going to give us the lecture about yoga in everything. So how we can practice yoga linking with the education in our everyday life. Thank you, Lakshminarayan garu. We can start the session. And
yeah. Namaskaram. Namaskaram, Srinivas garu, Bhavani garu.
Thank you.
A warm International Yoga Day wishes to all the members who are participating in this webinar. And as you mentioned, you can call me JD because now JD is not Joint Director, it is Janata Dost.
Wow, very good.
I have friend to all people. That is how people call me now. And our foundation is also called Join for Development Foundation. It is again
Very
JD
good,
Foundation. It is Join for Development Foundation. So we are doing a
very
lot
good,
of work in the agriculture, rural development, and also education, and also environmental issues we are dealing with. So today being the International Yoga Day, it's a right time that we all discuss. And basic thing is we need to spread happiness in the society. The ultimate goal of any individual is, as per me, is to live happily. But unfortunately, the happiness index parameters, if you compare, we are not doing well in the international scale. Out of 156 countries whose happiness index has been measured, we are at 144. That means there are only 12 countries who are, there are 143 countries which are more happier than us. So how to make our life happy and how to make others happy, that should be the overall goal of all of us. Whether we spread it through yoga or whether we spread it through any other method, the ultimate goal should be living happily. So of course, yoga is one of the best ways that keeps a man grounded and also keeps him happy, and also he makes him spiritual. So all these things are very, very important. I have just made a study, or I was reading a book which talks about why we are unhappy. Because we are leaving our USP and we are trying to associate ourselves, or we want to do something which is not our USP. So let me talk about the USP of various countries. USP is the unique selling proposition. I mean, if you think about a country, you immediately you get an idea or you remember that country in that particular manner. That is called USP. If you take US, for example, the USA's USP is to see that all the policies of the government make people happy or make people more independent. This is what is the USP of USA. If you take UK, the USP of UK is to make the Queen more powerful. Whatever UK does, it sees that the power of the Queen is retained and also the power of the Queen goes up. But when it comes to India, the USP of India is spirituality. So if you think about India, or if anybody talks about India, the first thing what gets into the mind is the spirituality. That is Adhyatmikata. So when we leave this USP and we get into materialistic world, then that's why whatever is happening in the society, why we are not happy, the main reason is we are leaving the spirituality. So spirituality, always people think it is a post-retirement subject. So people who retire from their service after 60 years, that is the time they should get spiritual and they should attend temples, and they should attend pravachanas. That's why if you see all the pravachanas, you find only people more than 60 years old. But actually, spirituality is required for the youth. Spirituality is required for the youngsters. When these elements of spirituality gets imbibed when they are small or when they're young, then their life becomes spiritual. So the best way to impart spirituality is by practicing yoga and by teaching yoga to these younger generations. So that is what Manavata and other institutions are doing. Nowadays, because of the COVID, we are all discussing about the World Health Organization. So every day we look forward to see what WHO talks about COVID, whether WHO says, is there any remedy for this, or is there any vaccine for this, how this rate of COVID is spreading. But the same WHO has defined what is health. What is health? It has given a definition. They say it is physical, mental, and spiritual health. That is called health. So the definition of health is physical health, mental health, and spiritual health. This is the definition given by WHO. So if you see how you can get this, all the three healths, that is physical health, mental health, and spiritual health, India has already given the vaccine for this long back. That vaccine is yoga. That vaccine is yoga. So we need not have to wait for the vaccine being invented or discovered by the other countries. Already we have the vaccine with us. If you practice this vaccine, the immunity is going to increase. The immunity is going to increase. One of the ways to avoid or get rid of COVID, or to keep the coronavirus away from us, is the immunity. So on this International Yoga Day, let us remember that our forefathers have given this to us in the form of yoga. And if we practice yoga, you can get the immunity, and also your mind gets purified, and you become physically strong. And these are the three qualities which are required to make you happy. So if one wants to be happy, they need to practice yoga. But what is happening is, again, a lot of efforts are being made in the country to spread the message of yoga. I mean, we should give credit to Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji for spreading this yoga across all the countries. When he made a proposition after coming to power, the first thing he made an international appeal is to have this International Yoga Day on June 21st. Immediately, all the countries have accepted this. I think 180 nations are practicing or have adopted this Yoga Day. And in fact, some countries have given decrees also. They say that this yoga has to be followed because it has so many benefits. That's how so many countries have made it compulsory for the people to practice yoga. So that's why this is the 6th International Yoga Day we are celebrating. On this Yoga Day in the year 2014, I was at New York Times Square. And because the International Yoga Day was observed there, and Sri Ravi Shankar Garu has participated in this World Yoga Day in Times Square on that day. So that is how the first International Yoga Day I could witness it. And the response and the enthusiasm with which people participated all over the world is mind-boggling. That means they have accepted India as the Vishwaguru. That is what is our Sankalpa, to see that knowledge-wise and also spirituality-wise, India is always leading the nations. And the celebration of International Yoga Day has confirmed it, has emboldened it. So we all should be thankful to Sri Narendra Modi ji. And also nowadays we are always discussing about the problem between India and China. So that is what is everyday discussion. We look forward to see the messages or the news about what's happening in the border, what's happening in Ladakh. So there is a lot of tension, a lot of this thing in the entire country about what is going to happen, which decision the government is going to take. But I always say we have a person at the helm of affairs who practices yoga. And because of yoga, he is going to take the right decision. You need not have to worry. You need not have to worry, and he is going to take the right decision for the benefit of the people. There is no doubt. See how different countries think. When India started spreading the message of yoga and the International Yoga Day, what China started thinking, they immediately established 3 factories to manufacture yoga mats. So how different people think about an issue, that can be made out from this. You see the market, you always find a made in China yoga mat available for you to do the Indian yoga. So that is how countries are so mixed with each other, so dependent on each other. So after the liberalization and after the globalization, I mean, the world has become a global village. So let us not think that always we are all one family. All the countries are one family. There is always a possibility of in the family also, there is always difference of opinion between brothers or sisters. So that is how something is happening in the border also. So I think very soon better sense prevails in China and things will become normal. And also, again, everybody will get involved in the economic development of the nation, which raises our economic power and in fact, which increases our comfortable levels and also per capita incomes, by which people will be happy. And happiness is what we want to spread in the society. It is how I look into. I mean, getting into the concept of excellence, because morning when I got a message that I should speak on the thing of excellence. So I always tell the youngsters, never try for success, always aim for becoming excellent. When one becomes excellent, success is a byproduct. Success is bound to follow you. So when you keep your goal as success, there is always a tension or pressure in you. But when we keep excellence as your goal, there won't be any tension. There will be an enjoyment in you. Everything you do, everything you learn, you do it with a lot of enjoyment or with happiness. Whenever you do something with happiness, there won't be any stress. Many youngsters ask me, sir, there is a lot of stress in us. We are getting stressed. I always say, whenever you do a certain thing without involving yourself fully, it leads to stress. If you do something with your wholeheartedness, if you put 100% your heart in that, then there won't be any stress and finally it leads to happiness. So how to put your mind 100% in what you are doing, that's what yoga teaches us. Yoga teaches us how to control your mind and how to make your mind concentrate on what you are doing. Then there will be happiness. So if you see, for everything, the ultimate solution or the ultimate vaccine is yoga. So on this yoga day, let us spread the message of yoga. And it is not just yogic postures that we do. Many people, they get confused. It is dhyana and pranayama and your yogic posture. All these 3 things put together, it constitute what is known as the yoga. Yoga means getting things together. That is what is yoga. So you put all the things together, then you attain the excellence. So if somebody wants to have an excellent performance, maybe in your office, maybe in your home, or any field you are in, so the best way to become excellent is by practicing yoga. So that is how I always look at it. And also we should thank Patanjali for giving this Ashtanga Yoga for all of us. He is a Vishwaguru as far as the yoga is concerned. Subsequently, many yogas have come, like Hatha Yoga, like Power Yoga, like many other yogas, Iyengar Yoga, that is also yoga, because I met Mr. Iyengar in Pune. He is an amazing personality. I mean, you should see him at the age of, I think he was almost 80 when I met him, but still he was very fit. I mean, his whole body, he can move whichever direction he wants, whichever shape he wants to get the body, he was doing it. So these are different types of yoga, but the main thing is the Ashtanga Yoga as proposed by Patanjali. And also we should thank Swami Vivekananda also for spreading the message of yoga. In his address to the World Parliament of Religions and also the subsequent speeches which he has delivered in various countries, he invariably brought this concept of yoga of India. So many people have become familiar or conversant with yoga with the message of Swami Vivekananda. And of course, Bhagavad Gita talks about yoga only. Bhagavad Gita is full of yoga. It talks about yoga and how yoga is important. It talks about Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Raja Yoga. All these things have been taught in Bhagavad Gita. So if you see the sum and substance of all these scriptures and also the lectures of various people, everybody has given a lot of importance and priority to yoga. That is because it makes a person excellent. It makes a person spiritual. It makes a person successful. It makes a person a role model. It makes a person healthy. It makes a person physically fit. It makes a person with lot of immunity. So there are so many benefits because always we are in a materialistic world, we always talk about the cost benefit. If I do yoga, what is that I am going to get? So these are various things what you are going to get. So we need to tell a person in his language, then he understands. So this is how yoga is going to help all of us, and yoga is going to help everybody to become fit. And also especially the youngsters I am talking about, the lifestyle has changed in the youngsters. Their food habits have been changed. So, because I see youngsters moving outside at 12 o'clock for midnight biryani. This is what is the nowadays fad. They eat at 12 o'clock. And I don't know how their body, this thing is accepting all these things. So because of the, lot of people have lot of medical ailments, mental ailments, and they cannot take stress also. So that's why we see so many youngsters committing suicide at the drop of the hat. If you see Sushant Rajput, who has committed suicide recently, we need to take it as a case study. Why an youngster? A brilliant youngster. And he got, he was, I think, All India 6th ranker in a talent examination. He also studied in a reputed institution and he made a name for himself. Ultimately, at the age of 38, this man has committed suicide. I was wondering because I liked his film, MS Dhoni, An Untold Story. It's a wonderful movie because I like MS Dhoni. Well, because of his commitment, because of his discipline, and the way he has come up in life in a hard way. So he has, the character of MS Dhoni was played by Sushant Singh Rajput. But he imitated Dhoni, but he could not imbibe the qualities of Dhoni. Had he imbibed the qualities of Dhoni, he would not have committed suicide. So this is what is the problem with the youngsters. So youngsters, we need to take yoga in a big way to the youngsters. A lot of institutions are doing. Of course, Manavata is also doing its bit to inculcate yoga in the youngsters especially. And also because India has a demographic dividend. Almost 75% of India's population is going to be below 29 years. If we can inculcate the yogic concepts and also the yoga concepts in the youngsters, so that will become. The moment you introduce yoga in schools, people come, it is non-secular. I don't know what is this theory. Yoga never talks about a religion. Yoga talks about a practice. But I don't know, see how the people's thinking is. The moment you talk about yoga, they say, no, it is not secular because the Indian constitution says it's a secular constitution. You can't introduce yoga. So these are the type of mindsets that we have in this country. That also needs to be. So this thing is, let us do our bit to inculcate or to make youngsters to practice yoga. And also we should make him practice, and also we should see that they become role models in the society. And also in this particular this thing, we need to discuss about Ashtanga yoga also. It is not just yoga and pranayama and dhyana. There are 8 ways which we need to follow, or 8 paths which we need to follow. That shortly we'll discuss. Because Just by practicing these two, it is good. But if you want to become excellent, you have to practice all the 8 margas which Patanjali has told us. The first one is called Yama, because he said Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharani, Dhyana, and Samadhi. These are the 8 ways through which this is called Ashtanga Yoga of Patanjali. First, let us take Yama. Yama, it talks about ahimsa, that is, you should not you should be away from cruelty, and satya, that is the truth, and you should know what to accept and what not to accept. This is what Yama teaches us. So you should be ahimsa, satya, and aparigraha. These are the 3 things which constitute Yama. Next is Niyama. The second constituent is the Niyama. That means cleanliness, happiness, Swadhyaya, Tapasya, Ishvara Sharanagati. These are the things which you practice under Niyama. These are the practices which you need to do. You have to maintain cleanliness. You have to spread happiness. You have to depend on yourself. That is Swadhyaya. You have to teach yourself. Swa Adhyaya. You should teach yourself, and you should do tapas. And finally, you should bend before the God. That is Ishvara Sharanagati. This is about Niyama. The third one is asana. I mean, what you practice is asana. That is, it cleanses your body. That is Sharira Suddhi, it says. So it cleanses your body. That is asana. Next is pranayama. Pranayama is, it gives you mental stability. Manastika sthairya, it gives. So pranayama. Then is pratyahara. Pratyahara means how you control your senses. How you control your senses is pratyahara. Then dharana, that means how to increase your concentration power. Ekagrata, that is called dharana. Then is dhyana. Dhyana is how to see that chitta suddhi, that means how you improve yourself, how you pay attention to your chitta. That is what is dhyana. And finally, samadhi. And finally is the ultimate and the penultimate, ultimate thing what you achieve by practicing all these is samadhi. So these are the 8 methods what Patanjali has taught in the Ashtanga Yoga Sutra. So these are the 8 sutras. So in addition to yogasanas, dhyana, and pranayama, we are supposed to introduce the other 5 things also, so that they can reach the ultimate goal of samadhi. That is how the Patanjali Yoga Sutra has been made, and that is how it has been introduced to all of us. So on this International Yoga Day, I request everyone to brush our knowledge about yoga, and also you continue your practice. Whenever I accept any invitation for a talk, I always see whether I am fit to address the people there. What are the attributes I have to address the audience? So my attributes for this is, I've been doing yogasanas from my childhood, and also because we had a neighbor who started Mahesh Yogi's yoga. So they used to teach us these yogasanas and all. That's how I started at my young age. And then of late, from the year 2000 onwards, I am doing Sri Sri Ravi Shankar's Sudarshan Kriya. That I do every day. I don't miss a day. And every day I do Sudarshan Kriya. It has brought a lot of changes in me. Especially I used to be a bit short-tempered before practicing Sudarshan Kriya. After practicing Sudarshan Kriya, my whole attitude has changed, and I remain cool even in very difficult situations. Whenever you remain cool, you take correct decisions. That's why people say never take any decision when you are angry. So you always take inappropriate decisions. So this Sudarshan Kriya has taught me a lot. This pranayama has taught me a lot. So that's why these are the 2 attributes. And also I am in the habit of spreading happiness in the society. So I always want to see everybody happy. Wherever I go, I try my level best to see that the differences between people are reduced. and also we all live like a family. So these are the thought processes which I have. So I thought I am eligible to talk to the audience in today's Manavata organization's this webinar. So whatever little details I have, or whatever little experience I have, I thought I can share with all of you. So let us make our mission as to spread the yoga around the whichever place we go or wherever we are. Especially, we need to introduce this in the schools and also in the to the youngsters. So this COVID is a best time. So I think through these webinars, I request Srinivas Garu to see that the classes are held for the children and the youngsters on yoga, so that they can practice, and by the time they in this COVID halts or COVID reduces, then by the time the army of yoga or the soldiers of yoga, we need to increase in great numbers. So this is what is my proposition to you, so that again, India can become Vishwaguru through the message of yoga. So thank you very much for giving me this wonderful opportunity to express myself and speak to all highly motivated people in this group, and also people who want to see India as the Vishwaguru and also spread the message of happiness. Once again, best wishes to all of you on the eve of International Yoga Day. Let us spread the message of yoga, and let us spread the message of happiness. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Bharat Mata Ki Jai.
Thank you very much. Lakshman. Very,
Yeah.
very short and sweet message. And yeah, so you have given summarized all Guru's concept into one single. So that will show actually excellence. So the mainly the particularly subject I have particularly selected excellence is yoga in Bhagavad Gita. Yoga karmashu kaushalam. That's the definition
Yes.
given by Lord Krishna. Which is basically the excellence, dexterity in every action is yoga.
Yes.
So that's what actually your life proved. So that is why I think that's a right subject for you, so for the youngsters and the for all the people involved. So inspire them, especially how this yoga works in day-to-day life. The people, as you rightly said, many people think that it's only just a physical exercise. It's a wrong understanding. And you have very short time summarized the Ashtanga Yoga very well. It's more important to bring the Yamanimas into the day-to-day life. Sir, thank you very much for your suggestion for the children classes. As you know, the Sanskar Vidya, we wanted to make actually the yoga as a mandatory in every school. We're trying our best to reach out. Yes, on the online also now we are conducting during the COVID morning and evening classes. Around that,
We have to train the parents also, Srinivas. The main problem for the society are the parents.
correct.
Yeah, what I have seen is that the parents have to be taught along with the children. So because I always keep telling Dr. Kalam's version, but Dr. Kalam always said, dream, dream, dream. He always said, dream big. But actually, we should allow the children to dream. But unfortunately, the parents are dreaming and they're imposing that on the children. That is what is the problem in the society. So whenever you attempt these classes, I think we need to have the parents also
Correct.
trained, so that they need to create that atmosphere in the home. Because children, they spend most of the time in the school and rest of the time in home. So they need to create this atmosphere in their respective homes, so that that thing becomes a practice. So my request is that along with children, let us educate the parents also. That is also important. Yeah. Yes.
As part of the actual Sanskar Vidya, the Better
Yeah.
Parenting is a 5 days workshop we have been organizing. So
Okay.
actually, you are absolutely right. The parenting, and especially how the parents should start giving to the children the love and the value system. Otherwise,
Yes.
whatever we teach, many schools, they are asking like, we don't have any examples like what you are telling. All our
Hmm.
parents are telling us to earn money. So that is only teaching they are teaching, and
Yeah.
they are behind, and they are stressed out, and these children also learning stress and the material
Yeah.
craving. And at the same time, we have a 5 days program for the teachers as
Hmm.
part of the Sanskar Vidya teachers training. That also actually
Okay.
training the mind through yoga, and also the
Yeah.
healthy lifestyle. That is
Mm-hmm.
more mandatory for actually for parents and the teachers.
Yeah.
So without their intervention, and the food they are giving actually wrong. So the once
Yes.
food is wrong, you cannot teach anything basically. Whatever you
Yeah.
teach is waste. So that's
Yes.
why
Yes.
food has to be corrected at the parents' place. So trying
Yes.
to educate them with a better parenting, healthy cooking, and a healthy living. All these
I think
practices.
Kadarwali Garu also is addressing now. Kadarwali
Yes,
Garu also is the
absolutely.
next speaker, I think. Yeah.
Correct, correct,
Yes.
correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to bringing the values, such a wonderful examples we must have in the, because we are talking about Swami Vivekananda, but we have to show them the real examples, like yourself in the field. Yes, this is a role model. So nowadays, the bringing that role model itself is a great strain. Now, only few people you can really consider as role models. Among such people, I think in this generation, you are such a great role model for the current generation, especially the people who are working in the government services and also the private sector. How to work honestly and with the determination and excellence. And yeah, so that's what actually you proved, and that shows actually how you follow the yama-niyamas, and not only just practicing yoga asanas and
Yes.
pranayama. Yeah, yama-niyamas as a culture. So
Yes.
yeah, it is basically Ashtanga yoga applicable for everyone to start with the yama-niyamas. Otherwise,
Yes.
without adopting the values, whatever you practice, again that starts with the craving, the mental craving, selfishness, and that
Yes.
greediness will spoil everything basically. Yeah, so that's a great message. Any questions from any
Yeah.
audience?
Please.
I think one person motivated. So he said he wants to start yoga now onwards after your speech. Veeraj Garu.
Super.
Yeah. Yeah. That's nice. Yeah. Because it doesn't take much time.
Yeah.
Because most of the time I am on tour. You need not have to have a gym or anything. I mean, because I mean, I always say wherever you are and whichever time you want, and you can always practice this yoga. That is the greatest advantage, and also it is it doesn't cost you anything. That is one this thing. You need not have to buy dumbbells or you have to buy this thing. That is not also not required. You need your mind and you need your time. It needs only your time and your mind. So you can do wherever you want and whenever you want. So this is the best way. So that's why we always want to prefer things which are costly. That is what is the materialistic life now. Suppose if there is a medical practitioner who doesn't prescribe anything, people don't go to him. People queue up before the medical practitioner who gives you 2-page prescription. They say he is a great doctor. So that is how the concept is nowadays, because you always see a person who has more property, he is a big man in the society, not a person who relinquishes everything and who works for the society. I mean, that is how the mindset of the society has changed. That needs to be brought back. The only yoga is the alternative. This is the only solution what we have to bring back the original mindset of Indian mindset. That is the polluted mindset. You have to remove this pollution and you have to make it pure. So it is possible through yoga and the practices of Yama-niyamas, as Srinivas Garu told us. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Bhavani Garu. Yeah.
Okay, one of the teachers, government teachers, I need to.
Yeah.
So it is basically if the teachers are starting up and adopting this yoga as part of day-to-day
Yeah.
life, and if
Yeah.
parents are adopting, I think parents and teachers will start practicing the regular morning yoga. That makes
Yes.
the difference in life, difference in this world. So that is what actually the basic. The teachers and the parents must start from today. I think that's what actually this today's mission actually, why we have started 24-hour celebration with our
Yeah.
Japan volunteers and ending with the US West Coast. It is because
Hmm.
of the 24 hours we wanted to do this yoga and make more people, and even
Yeah.
new people who do not have the access to the yoga, the Africans and whoever it is, all the countries, we wanted to make all the people to adopt this
Very
yoga
nice.
system in
Wonderful.
day-to-day life. So at least if we, some people start adopting day and yoga from today with your speech and with your message, the gist message, whatever you have been, it is wonderful. You started from childhood the yoga sadhana, so that is
Yeah.
what actually proves, yes, the yoga makes you excellence. Yoga, yeah, yoga sadhana, yeah.
That's
So
what
that's
you told about gurus are the teachers, because
absolutely,
most of the people, I don't know, they are from maybe from different parts of the country. We in Andhra Pradesh have a great my poet lived by name Vemana.
yeah,
He
yeah,
has written a Shataka called Vemana Shataka, in which he also mentions about yoga. So there is a this thing poem in this. It says, Kalla Gurudu Gattu Karma Chayambulu, Madhya Gurudu Gattu Mantra Chayamu, Uttamundu Gattu Yoga Samrajyambu, Vishwadabhirama Vinuravema. That's what Vemana said. So a best guru or the best guru, he takes the children in the marga of yoga. So he mentions about yoga also. The other types of gurus, they talk about their karmas, they talk about the other ways of getting through the life. But a best guru always takes the children or the pupils in the marga of yoga. So that's what Yogi Vemana also has said about the yoga. So when you said, you talked about the gurus or the teachers, so we should always tell them that yoga is the best way of taking the children. I mean, how the values have to be inculcated in them. Yoga is the best way. Yeah, that is how, because you had spoken about the teachers, role of teachers in inculcating values in the children. Yeah,
that's right. We tried in different ways to inculcate the values in different ways.
yeah,
But when we started actually the in the school system almost from past 30 years, in different
hmm,
ways we tried. But when we
yeah,
started actually yoga in daily life, and then we
yes,
started seeing the difference.
change,
Whatever we
yes,
teach, it won't go into the mind unless the people start practicing the
yeah,
yoga. There is no change, but yoga can make a very great and positive change that we have seen in children and parents and families. So ultimately, to become healthy, happy, and harmonious, as you said, happiness,
yeah,
spreading the happiness. So they should
hmm,
spread this 3H mission to everyone actually. So all must adopt. Yeah. So
yes,
that the
yeah,
3H family concept, which
hmm,
is basically adopted by the program called 3H Mission, Healthy, Happy, and Harmonious.
okay,
So,
okay,
so to make
yeah,
the world as 3H, and every family must become a 3H, healthy, happy, and harmonious.
okay,
Yeah,
very nice.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
Lot of
any other, yeah,
any other questions?
yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I don't see any questions.
Yeah, on this auspicious day, let us, as JP Garu said, JD Garu said, sorry, Jay, again. Uh, we will continue as JD Garu. Anyway, you heard Janata Dosta. So,
Yeah, yeah. So that's what I say. And also, I think the time given to me is from 9 to 9:45.
yeah,
I think I have almost, I touched 9:40. So as there are no questions, another small practice which we introduced in the schools, just I'll tell that and I'll stop my this thing.
sure, yeah,
Thank you, sir.
Because role play is very important for the children. Role play is very important. So what we started doing in some of the schools is that we started making the entire family come onto this stage and participate in the cultural programs of the school. Generally, what happens on the annual days, it's only the children who come onto the stage and they perform. As parents, we will be sitting and watching them. But in Thane, where I worked as the Joint Commissioner of Police, there is this Raymond School. It is called Sulochana Devi Singhania School. There we have a wonderful director by name Dr. Revati Srinivasan. So she started a new method wherein the whole family has to perform. So if the child wants to sing, the entire family has to sing. If the child wants to dance, the entire family has to dance. It is like that. So each class is given, every week you have some program in the school. So what happened is the children were given 15 days time. Of course, the family was given 15 days time to practice. So the experience of the family after this 15 days of practice is phenomenal. So the understanding between the children and the parents has increased. And the children also could see how affectionate the parents are. And the parents also could see the qualities in their children. This has built up the families in that area. So like this we started, and it has given a very good impact on the overall health of the family and also the atmosphere or the environment in the family. The second thing what we are doing is, from the lives of great people, we are picking up few instances. Say for example, Swami Vivekananda, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So we are actually writing down the, as a skit we are making it. So suppose some boy, he takes the role of Swami Vivekananda. So he starts thinking about Swami Vivekananda and he starts exploring more and more of Swami Vivekananda. If somebody plays the role of Dr. Kalam, then he goes and picks up. He thinks Kalam is he. So that is how the value inculcation can be carried out. So this role play is very, very important. Otherwise, these youngsters are thinking that the entertainers, the film star are the role models. That is the unfortunate part of it. So we need to replace that with the actual heroes, real heroes of the society. Maybe Swami Vivekananda, Dr. Kalam. There are so many people who have brought change in the way you look at the society or your impression about the society. So these type of small exercises are yielding very good results. And also there is another organization called IMCTF. It is based in Chennai, started by Sri Gurumurthy Garu, the famous economist and the chartered accountant. So they do Matru Vandana, they do Pitru Vandana, they do Vriksha Vandana, they do Veera Vandana. Like that, there are 6 practices which are being inculcated or introduced in the schools, so that at different times they do this Vandanas. So that also inculcates a lot of value system in them. So this is another practice which is going on. So my request to all of you is, especially Srinivas Garu, is that maybe after some time, let us have meeting of all such people wherein you can have a collection of all good practices in various schools. What are the good practices, so that let others also pick up. It's like going to a garden and picking up flowers and making a garland. So let us pick up good practices from different people and let us expose people to that, so that let them pick up whichever is good for them. Ultimately, spreading goodness is our aim or the intention. Yeah. Thank you very much. Now it's 9:45. So I have finished my time allotted, because time is very precious, and also you have chalked out the entire day very meticulously. And I mean, the time where we need to respect time also. Thanks once again, Srinivas Garu and Bhavani Garu, for giving me this wonderful opportunity for interacting with motivated people, and also people who want to spread the message of happiness. Dhanyavadalu, namaskaram.
Thank you very much, sir. We are so honored to have you always. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Because I have a few more webinars.